So I want to talk about how to improve the culture of your company. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massack. I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I wanted to pay the favor for to help you out. There's lots of ways to improve the company culture, and they don't always end with firing the person that is destroying the culture. So that's the first thing is think about, termination of the person that is not necessarily doing a good job with the culture. And it's not necessarily termination from the, organization, but putting them in a position that's going to help them out, right? So you want to give several times, sort of switch them from position to position to position to see if there's something that fits, right? Because we all do something really well and we have to sort of find the right thing that fits for us. The other thing that you can think about is, so that's the first thing is really thinking about, just moving things around and changing up the organization so that somebody can find the right fit that they need to fit. And then, the second thing that I think is important is to think about incentives that you have in your organization, right? So sometimes if you have competitive incentives that have people sort of winning and losing, where there's what's called the winner take all kind of marketplace within the organization, where there's one person that always is going to win and the other person is not going to win, that creates a lot of tension within the organization. So you want to think about how can we reward the entire organization when everybody does well, and tie the performance of the entire organization or group or subgroup to doing when everybody does do well, right? So thinking about the incentive structure that you have is very important, whether it is, maybe it's profit sharing or, having something along those lines is going to be really, really important for you to prevent that behavior. Now, the reason why this is somewhat troublesome to do this sort of competitive winner take all type incentive structure is because often there's accumulation of benefit that happens to certain individuals over the long run, whether it is because they have some underlying skill set or whatever, but you have to think about that sometimes there creates an unfair advantage within the market. And that does happen, that you get these accumulating returns, what's called accumulating returns, where somebody gets extra benefit compared to everybody else. And you can't reverse those. Those are really, really hard to reverse. I can show this with a simulation, but I'm not going to go there. So, the other thing that you want to do is, and this is the third thing, is birthday cakes. I know that seems silly, but rewarding people just for the hell of it, like doing fun things, like have fun, right? Like waste your resources. Waste it. Go have fun. Go do things that you would love to do. And I know that sometimes you just don't have those resources to waste. Well, then I would pull back the growth of the company and focus on, okay, let's say you're making $10,000 this year for the company. Well, allocate $1,000 for fun and to do things that are just for the hell of it, where you can go do some really fun things and just reward everybody. Right? So having money left over to waste and to just have a good time, I think that is going to be very helpful for you. The last thing is, and this is going to be super, super important, is to look to somebody, right? Like if you have this opportunity, go around and just say, hey, how you doing? How are you really doing? Can I help you somehow? And those words are really, really important. That changes the entire dynamic because that suggests that you're actually helping them and you actually care about them. That sort of acknowledgement that you actually care about them, that's going to be really, really important. And if you simply just say, hey, how are you doing? Is there something that I can do to help you out? That is going to change everything. So I also want to give some caveats with this, right? Sometimes you have to, sometimes it's like a family, right? Like if there is somebody that is not getting it, is not part of what's going on, then you have to sort of let them make mistakes too, right? And you have to take a step back. And that's a hard thing, is finding, finding the right amount of how much you should let people make mistakes versus you actually stepping in all the time. So I just don't want you to be that kind of person that's always stepping in and sort of doing everything for everybody else. You have to make sure that those people are actually able to do things themselves, and that they're going to make mistakes and they're going to find issues themselves, right? So really be cognizant of what is, appropriate for you to step in and say, hey, you know what, can I help you out? Versus them doing it on themselves. They really need to sort of figure out what is appropriate for them to figure it out. So having that combination and sort of mixing around all those different factors of you actually caring, right? And as you sort of changing the incentives, wasting resources for the fun of it, all of those things really make a difference. And if you sort of get that combination right and you sort of play around with those, you're going to see a boost in the culture of your organization. All right. So hopefully you like that. Give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.